All right, welcome to another edition of the Mexican Soccer Show. I'm Wiso from FootMexSource.com. This is another edition of the Mexican Soccer Show. I already said that, didn't I? This is an hour-long podcast dedicated to all things Mexican football. We got a little music going on in my ear.
Yeah, Daft Punk.
Time out. What is this? The Romantic Hour on the Smooth Jazz channel?
We're livening things up just a little bit here, making sure that you guys are having a good Monday, and bringing you tonight. There it is.
I forgot the first line. I said move yourself, bring yourself. I forget. I don't know. I
All right, guys. Again, welcome to the Mexican Soccer Show. You guys are on the chats. We're going to have a lot of fun today. Lots and lots of topics that include all of Mexican football with Liga MX, Libertadores today, this week, and also some rumor talk here with the Mexican national team. But first, I want to say hi to the guys who's joining us today. Finally, we get to see. I want to say hi first to Mr. Johnny Rico, Mr. Johnny, who's had trouble with his laptop, but he's finally here with his Cholos shirts. But Johnny, how you been?
I've been good. Lost a lot of faith in Google, but yeah.
All right. For me, I'm wearing a hat today. Yes, and it's a Gold Cup hat. It's probably the only time I'm going to wear it. So I'll go ahead and say thank you to Gabriel Gabor from CONCACAF and Zoom, who gave us all hats. Naive, why aren't you wearing yours, man?
I gave it to Manco.
Naive, how are you?
He was handing out hats?
Yes.
I saw on his Twitter account too, not to derail us this early in the show, but that there was a translation booth during the final, right? Where there was a booth. He posted something up on Twitter where people could enter this booth where they would translate everything. Because sometimes they'll have a translator on site, but they had an actual booth where they had speakers and everything where they translate everything into English. I don't know. I found that fascinating.
No, it was when you go into the press conference. There's a guy to give you the little radios, and there was a little booth, and some guy.
Oh, dude, that's so professional.
It's
usually just some person in a corner, and everybody huddles over there, on the far. That's where. Yeah, that's interesting.
See what happens when we put music? Everything just gets distorted. Naive, how are you?
That's just another example of how robots are taking our jobs.
No, it was an actual guy. It was a guy, Johnny. It was a guy doing it.
No, doing good. We still doing good to see Cesar. Good to see Johnny with the Cholos gear on. It's been a crazy weeks. Because you think about it. Last week, it was just last week when El Tri won the Gold Cup, and so much has happened since then.
It feels like a month ago.
It feels like a month ago. There's so many things bunching up together. Rayados, Stadium, Tigres, and Libertadores. The league is kind of an odd start with Morelia being up there in the table and stuff. So it's pretty crazy.
Good. And going over to Mr. Cesar, who got a new computer, so he won't have problems. Your cat's there, so
yeah. My cat is here. My computer is new. Oh, dude, I'm all set. And a dog. I've had dogs for so many years. I've had dogs for many years. I'm now turning into a cat person. I'm all right with that. I have no qualms with that. But I'm doing well. Unfortunately, we all recently talked just less than 24 hours ago. A little bit of a dismal game between Cruz Azul and Chivas. It was an awful game from Chivas. But just plenty of surprising results from the weekend. We'll see what happens with all the manager madness from Mexico at the moment, and hopefully we get a manager soon because we got a friendly coming up early next month. We got 2 friendlies coming up early next month, so let's get going. Let's just have someone in there. I don't care who it is. Actually, no, I do care, but let's get a manager up there soon.
All right, well, saying hi to you guys once more. Keeping it chill. Yesterday we had a great time during the Chivas and Cruz Azul game where I think all of us jumped on and had a 2-hour discussion during the game. Very, very, very fun. A lot of you guys saw it. Over almost 900 people tuned in to our banter, so that's awesome. We're going to try to continue that. We're going to try to get some kind of poll for you guys to tell us what game you want to do and see if we can accommodate that. But it should be.
So probably just choose the worst game possible, just like the worst game.
Go ahead and do. I can't think of I was going to say Morelia, but Morelia is doing well, so I'm like. Hey, they're all starting to see how it is.
For all for all the people that will vote for the worst game they think, here the funny thing is, Mexican League, you never know. It's a 50-50 whether we get an exciting or boring game.
There it
Yeah,
is.
that's entirely true, actually.
On the chat today, we have the usuals. Mr. Ivan Fernandez, Afrozander, you might know him. Joel, who's always there.
Joel, yeah, I'm in a bit of a Twitter debate with Jolie at the moment.
So, yes, it's interesting about America. But definitely, if you're listening to us right now on YouTube and you're driving home or you don't find yourself at the desktop, try to jump on with us on the chat. We'll try to ask your questions, and then later on, for the first time, guys, for the first time, Mexican Soccer Show. We did it yesterday during the game. Some of you have a chance to call. We'll put out the number that. We'll put out the number that you need to call, and you can call to the studio. You can call and ask us questions towards the end.
The studio.
Which is really Tom's bedroom when he visits Phoenix, or Cesar's. Cesar always likes to take some swanky hotel.
Yeah,
If you're listening to us right now on YouTube, and but yeah, who's got who? Try to get on.
That's not me. I don't know. Someone's got YouTube. Someone's got to turn down their YouTube right now. That's not me.
The YouTube going on right now. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. And like I said, ask your questions on there right now on the chat, and we'll answer them. But let's go ahead and get started with just to get it out of the way. As you see, the Mexican flag. Great graphics from our producers today. Let's just go into it really quickly. Rumors for the Mexican national team coach that you're hearing out there. I mean, it's still pretty much the same. We covered it last week. Andrea Canales was able to join us last week. And we had a hefty discussion at an hour. So many of you guys watched about obviously what we were talking about, Piojo, and who we kind of saw, the name Bielsa out there. I ask you guys right now, it's the same conversation from last week. Anybody that's dropped off already? Cesar and Naive, I know you were talking about some coaches in press conferences. Tell us about that.
I mean, I'm sure. I think it's a little bit of bad news for some of the candidates we saw up there. I mean, we saw Caixinha. He basically said that he wants to go to Europe and that he wasn't happy with his experience as a national team coach when he was coaching Saudi Arabia. So that's not good for Mexico. Tuca Ferretti basically said that he'd rather be, I believe he said, he'd rather be taking out trash for a living, or he'd rather be something. He'd rather be a garbage man.
Broom.
Street cleaner. That'd be a street cleaner.
That was in 2013. That wasn't recent.
No, but even before that, there were so many songs, as we mentioned, he was the one who talked about Partido Moleros and whatnot. It never seemed like he genuinely wanted to be manager. And right now he's in the middle of the Copa Libertadores run, and he has all those massive signings with Tigres. I don't know if that's really good. Vucetich, they asked him recently, and he said, well, he doesn't know if they would treat him well if he was to return.
I will put this up, Cesar. If Tuca Ferretti wins the Libertadores, what more can he win at Tigres? He's already won a league. Theoretically, he's already won a Libertadores, the first Mexican club to do so. I think the national team job would be that next challenge in Tuca Ferretti's career.
Yeah, and I think that's something we're waiting. I posed a question on Twitter. I said, if Tuca wins on Wednesday, is that his step to go into the national team?
He still has a chance to. He still has a chance for making more. I mean, making it a completely historic season for Tigres. I know the Copa Libertadores title in itself would be massively historic, not just for Tigres, but Mexican soccer in general. But he could still win a title with all those fantastic players that he has in the roster, which he just brought in over the summer.
But winning one league title,
which he's done before, is not that historic. The historic part would already have been done. Even reaching the final in itself, that's only the third Mexican team to do it.
Yeah, but at the same time, do you really think that
I think he's getting closer. I know. I mean, if it was a month ago, Naib, you and I were talking about waiting for some cheesesteaks. We were like, how is it that you can think about Tuca even? And this is before we saw the Piojo stuff during the Gold Cup, and we said Tuca is no way. But seeing how it is now, from what reports are saying, and close, at least that there's a consideration. He hasn't said no like normally in the past. He's the concentration he has in his team, but Tuca could be an option.
I mean, I think one of the things I would put on the table is that having Mejia Barón as an advisor has made Tuca a better coach, in my opinion. I think in the last months when Mejia Barón in there in Tigres, I've seen the best Tigres, because it tends to be that with Tuca it was always defensive, always take care of the zero. And now, once Mejia Barón arrived and then Rafael Sobis came along, Guerón, you saw a little bit more of attacking flair from Tigres. The thing with Tuca is that he's always been so critical about the FMX food that it just would seem kind of odd if he kind of betrays that message and accepts the offer this time around. From my perspective, I think the coach should come from out of Mexico. I just think that it would be good at this precise moment. Let me continue with my thought, Johnny. I think what Menotti did in the 1990s, coming into the league, coming to the Mexican national team, that paved the way for something new. I think at this precise moment there could be another coach coming from outside and bring new ideas, bring a new style and a new system, and kind of change the mentality of the Mexican footballer. That's my opinion. I don't see a Mexican coach right now that fulfills a lot of those qualities.
Yeah, there's no way you can gamble what's being played on October with a brand new manager that has absolutely zero idea of what Mexican soccer is. We've already, quality manager like Pizzi. How did Leon do last season? I know now he's getting the hang of things. He's getting the hang of things, and Leon is looking better. But that took him 6 months. There's a lot at stake right now in October. There needs to be a manager that knows what he's doing with Mexican players.
Even if it was, say that Bielsa, he is, for some odd reason, is actually interested, and I honestly don't think he will take it. I think it's all of us just having our fingers crossed. Even if it was someone at the level of Bielsa, would you say that that's still a bad step for Mexico? And I know he did have a little bit of experience in the early 90s with American, I think, Atlas. But would you, Johnny, would you accept someone like Bielsa?
I think it'd be a mistake because he doesn't know the Mexican game. It's going to be a 50-50 that U.S.-Mexico game for Confederation. And if he were to lose that, then you're just starting off with the world of pressure on
there
this
wouldn't be that much pressure, Johnny. You kind of have to win it, but
if he were to lose that, he's already starting on the wrong foot.
Yeah, but I think that's where I think the FMF goes, look, you have these 3 games. Yeah, if they go for a Bielsa type of player, I think that's when there wouldn't be that much of a pressure because you're just starting. How do you want me to get my player? This is going to be Piojo's players.
Welcome to Mexico.
No, but I think that's where a Bielsa can do that. Now, if it was a Caixinha, if it was a Tuca, I think there's a no repressions. But only a big coach that we know he's a good coach if you give him the time can come in the next 2 days, lose that game against the U.S. and say, hey, you know what? We're working towards my system. I can't just change it in 2 games by having these players 3 games. And I think that's the coach, and he can say that. Now, if it was Tuca and if it was somebody else, I feel like there's way too much pressure for the next 3 games.
Now, do you think the decision makers will take that risk on losing out in confederations? Do you think confederations is something that you can easily give up for a long-term project?
No, you can't. But at the same time, if you either have Tuca, Buse, it doesn't matter. It's not like Buse or Tuca or anyone else is going to make an impact in the next 2 games that Bielsa will not take that impact. That's where I think they should go for the Europeos.
Not paying that much attention to the immediate. I think that's Mexico's biggest fault. Is always looking for the immediate and never looking far ahead. And I think if you keep looking at the immediate, Mexican football will never advance. And I think it's just stagnating. You see other teams in the region that are kind of advancing, and they're catching up on Mexico. I mean, we saw with Panama. They did well, and it's not like Panama is amazing. I think Mexico already has a good bunch of players that have been coaching Europe, and they would have no problem if another coach from Europe or South America with European experience comes to Mexico. I think we tend to think that, Mexican soccer is so I think the Mexican footballer already understands certain ways to act as a good player, like a European or like a South American. I mean, they already won the gold medal. And we're talking about a process here that they've actually won stuff, not starting from scratch.
All I'm saying is if Bielsa is somehow willing to take the job and we don't somehow grab that opportunity, I would probably be furious. I would be furious if we didn't. Because honestly, I think I'd be very surprised. I know, ESPN Mexico was saying recently that the FMF is in talks with Bielsa, just gauging, just seeing what his interests are, like seeing if he's willing to take part, or what kind of options we can have with him. But I think he's almost like at least just like tactically, it feels like he's like the anti-Piojo. Like that guy just obsessed with tactics and research, and that's just all his life is. And I would hate for Mexico to miss out on an opportunity like that.
That sounds a lot like Ricardo Lavolpe.
I think there's I don't know. I think there's I don't know. I think there's a big difference with Bielsa, with his experience, and with, like I said, I think I said in the last show that Pep Guardiola called him in 2012 the best manager in the world.
No, so. It's definitely going to be a long-term project in what he is. The studiousness. I mean, the guy is they don't call him local for a reason. And the way that he is with the players. I mean, if you've seen clips of him during his press conference, he's like this the whole time, and he doesn't look up at anybody.
I do propose this idea. I know during that painfully long press conference that Decio de Maria had, he said that he doesn't like the option of an interim manager. But why not an interim manager until November?
The thing is that October, November
on November, after the match against the U.S., then you can start looking at a long-term project with or without confederations. But from here to October, from here to the date of the match against the U.S., you cannot think of anything else but the match against the U.S.
Yeah, well, then after the U.S., you bring in a new coach. They don't have any games to play until November.
But that's
qualifications are already in November. That's how. So.
But from here to October, you can't think of anything beyond Mexico, U.S., and Pasadena. That confederation.
You're going to play U.S. and then you're going to play Honduras in November.
Yeah, but you can
only. That's big of a difference.
Yes, but one game gives you the Confederations Cup ticket. The other game gives you three points in a 6-game tournament.
All I'm saying is that if you do get an interim, which I'm not that much against it. If you get an interim, for the next 3 games, they get you or they lose or whatever, then you bring in the other coach. There's going to be no games at all. You're going to have 3 days before to get to November.
And that's fine.
Why not get it? And at least you're working with the team. You have 2 games and play the U.S. And hey, that's giving you, even though it's a very important game, that's giving you what's ready to go for November. But I'm not opposed of getting an interim right now.
I don't know if it's very romantic to think long-term future, but I think you guys are not seeing the importance of what this Mexico-U.S. game is.
No, I think what Naib was saying is just that we're always looking for that, but it's our fault that we're there right now. We brought in Piojo just to get us to the World Cup, and he did what he needed to do. We were bringing in another coach just to get us to the Confederations Cup. I said this before. I don't mind losing the Confederations Cup. I'm sorry. If we don't make it,
I would disagree with that. Yeah, I
wouldn't. I'm looking at 2019. I'm looking at that 2019 Copa America, and if we don't go to the Copa Confederaciones right before the World Cup, we win that Gold Cup and we go there. I'd rather win, and we can finally say we're going with.
That's being rational, but the Mexico fan in me just it hurts me to the core, man, just to the core. Every time Mexico loses the U.S., and this is by far one of the most important games up against the United States in a long time. Yeah.
This is probably our one chance of revenge on that 2002 loss in Japan.
The unfortunate thing is it's not at that level. I think it's really important. I'm not saying it's at that level, but I think it's close. It's close. It's going to give us bragging for a while.
If we would have beaten them on the Gold Cup final, I would have been fine. The fact that they lost against Jamaica, it just shows. They're not
I just want us to win 2-0. That's all I want. I just want 2-0. I just want a 2-0 win. I don't know about you guys, but.
All right. Well, seeing what the chat is saying, everybody wants Tom Marshall to be the national team coach. They're jumping on that Cesar idea, by the way. Cesar, that they're wanting Tom Marshall to be national team coach. What are they saying? Naib, everybody wants your hair. Lovely lovely chats that goes on there. Sven Goran Eriksson. Joel's already pushing in. John is saying the same thing for Nacho Ambriz, but we won't go there.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
But fun times in the chat. But
one of the things we didn't mention that much, the Alejandro Sabella deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it says there seems that there's already a deal with Saudi Arabia, but then there's other press people from Argentina that are saying that it's not official yet.
Yeah.
So I mean, we don't know.
And now they're going to Sao Paulo. Then that's what I kind of tweeted. I'm like, I guess we're in competition with Saudi Arabia to get the next coach, which didn't think Saudi Arabia was, the team that a lot of coaches wanted to go to. But if they just imagine if they get like a Sao Paulo, Bielsa goes to Saudi Arabia. I mean, what does that say?
That's I think Mexico is, again, I'm gonna remain firm on the fact that the coach needs to come out of Mexico. It doesn't have to be a Mexican, but it has to be someone come out of Mexico.
All right.
To me, Mohamed is the most ideal candidate.
Of course you would say that.
Turco Mohamed is the most ideal candidate to take over the national team.
Argentina every weekend.
Fun fact about Alejandro Sevilla, he back in the day, I think in 1978, Sheffield United wanted Maradona, but they couldn't afford him, so they got Sevilla instead for a cheaper price. So interesting fun fact about him.
Nah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and that's all my input for Sevilla right there.
Who did you say? Sheffield United?
Yeah, Sheffield United.
The one with the two swords on the logo.
I mean, a lot of them have swords. I don't know. Actually, I honestly have no clue what Sheffield United's logo looks like. I should know.
I'm going with two swords on the logo.
Well, the producer's telling us to move on from this topic by giving us the music.
Oh, it is two swords. Yeah, look at that. Two swords and it looks like a rose.
Yeah, I'm not only Liga MX savvy.
Oh, Google's your friend. All right, guys.
I guess we should move on.
Google is not my friend.
That's right. You're not doing it. All right, so let's go. And any more talks into? My question is, when are they going to name it? I mean, is it going to be like a press conference in 2 hours? Get whoever's there to get there, and then they're going to name it. I don't see.
Late August, I'd say.
Really? You think they're going to take that long?
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't take that long, to be honest. I
was actually aiming more towards Independence Day.
July 4th?
September 16th.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean, the FMF said, like, I did see a couple things that they're going to take their time to figure out who they're going to get. So it could be late August, but I have no clue. I don't know if a lot of us have any clue.
Man.
No clue, just a guess.
It's like you're coming in August, and then all you have is September to got the players in already. You need to have them for October for the October friendlies, which Trinidad and Tobago, and Argentina, which there's in questions to see if Messi's actually going to be there or not at the.
I thought it was confirmed he is going to play. I'm not sure though. I saw some headline. I didn't actually read the article. I just saw some headlines and that Messi.
It's not the same headline,
yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. Let's move on. Let's move on from the. Let's talk about Liga MX Week 2. We can finally spend some time on League 2. Piojo's punch and Piojo's drama robbed us from talking about the return of Liga MX. So many of you has already stated we're already into 2 weeks. Already seeing that the club that's number 1, León, coming back to the throne.
We'll talk about them. But they've yet to play anyone without their opponents getting at least one red card. They have yet to.
Just like Mexico, would just take the win regardless. I'm gonna go ahead and take those 2 wins and be happy about it.
You took on 8 players in the first match.
That's right. That's right. But we'll go ahead and just keep it at that. There's no bragging. No, I definitely know. I'm the one that was tweeting that out. If we can play any team with the under 11 players, I think we can win the championship. But we'll see where Pizzi's going. I have no faith in Pizzi. All right, but
that sounds familiar.
Let's talk about Liga MX, guys. Let's talk about already the teams. This is I don't remember a time where Chivas and America have lost the first 2 games. I was trying to look at some stats, and I know 1997 for for America, but trying to go back to the two big teams in Mexico starting that way. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Let's talk about America and Chivas, and one, Johnny, with America and what's going on, and also Naib and with Nacho Ambriz. Is it panic mode? A lot of people are asking already. Is, you know, the rumors of Piojo already kind of lining up and seeing how it is? Tell us, Johnny. This is the America corner with Naib. You know, for all the America fans that are watching, what's going on with America?
Well, you know, the Twitter debate I was having, the original question was, do we buy the fact that America's in crisis mode? I say yes. I think America has been in crisis mode since they couldn't retain Antonio Mohamed as manager. And I think it's about time that both Ambriz and Peláez both leave the club. Peláez's ego has taken over the club. Because of his ego, you know, he let go of Mohamed. He completely messed up the Matosas situation. Now he's messing up with Ambriz. I think that, you know, he's won 3 titles, but you know, this are 3 big mess ups that I'm counting against him. So I think it's time to leave. Probably if Ambriz stays, you know, sooner or later, players like Benedetto, Michael Arroyo, they're going to start stepping up, and just on their individual talent, they'll pull America through. You know, a mediocre season, 7th, 6th place finish, playoffs, but you know, that's about it.
I mean, I think after that, what we will see is at the end of the season, that's when Azcárraga will, you know, decide with Peláez. You know, I think Peláez has kind of still, you know, when he brought in Piojo and it worked out, and then Mohamed and Matosas winning the CONCACAF Champions League. You know, if you want to consider that kind of as a title that Matosas won. It's just the players. The players are also trying to click with a new idea. Ventura had a bad game, the last one, you know. But
bad game
you know,
might be an understatement.
Horrible game.
Horrible game. But I think there was parts with I remember, was it when Turco, he did well. I mean, it's not like now Ventura's the bad defender. I think Ventura has some potential, and players go through some stages that are really disastrous, like this one, and they have to learn how to come out. You know, and I think it's just this. But one of the things I do agree with Johnny in the fact that if this doesn't work out, Ambriz's project, I think Peláez's job is in danger, and that's when the change will have to come and find, you know, some type of stability, because the team has the players. I mean, Darwin Quintero, Benedetto, Güemes, Aguilar, Zamudio. You know, I think it's a good group of players. Ruben Sambuesa. It's just that they haven't been. Ambriz doesn't send a good vibe in a way to the players, and it's been, you can tell from it in the first 2 games.
I think the unfortunate thing about Ambriz in that last game is I think most of the fault was on just 2 players. I think it was just Benedetto and Alvarado. I think they could have had the win. America had 25 shots in that game. 10 of them came from Benedetto just by himself, and it was obviously just he couldn't finish them. The only thing he could finish was something about 3 inches away from the net, and Alvarado it was by far the worst individual performance for the weekend from him, and that's why I feel I don't know if Ambriz is actually I'm pretty sure he isn't the right coach for America, but I think of that last game, I don't think that was his fault. I think the individual performances could have secured a win in that match, especially when Atlas they didn't have as many opportunities as America did.
The only thing with that question is the fact that Nacho Ambriz hasn't won a game. It's got 7 games without winning in you know, on official games.
Well, okay. The thing is with what Cesar was saying, that America lost because of individual performances. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. You know, Ambriz is going to rely on individual performance to get the few wins he will get this season. Because tactically, what are we seeing from Ambriz?
Yeah, I'm not saying that. Like I said, I don't think Ambriz is the right choice. I think we were all a little confused when he was selected as a national team manager. What I'm saying is America could have had the win, and I don't think it was his fault. I don't think it was his fault for the recent loss. That's all I'm saying. I think some of those players could have salvaged a win. I'm not saying that, like I said, I'm not saying he is the right manager. All I'm saying is that a lot of people are focusing on him when he wasn't the actual fault of the loss.
I think if Matosas would still be there, they'd be 2-0. That's all, right, Johnny?
Definitely not. I think if Mohamed was there, we'd be campeones.
Hi, buddy. Again, every 6 months we go back to the Mohamed, the Matosas. Interesting to see. Obviously, in the table, Morelia. Naib, you were talking about the relegation, kind of in the table wise, how we're seeing that those teams are doing really well and those aren't. Like a Morelia doing well. You kind of talked about it during the Chivas game yesterday. But are you surprised already in the first two?
Well, it depends also in the coach. I mean, I think Mesa, was able to kind of wake up the players, and I think they actually had good players who come into the team. Like Pellerano is one of them that comes to mind. He comes from America, just jumped there for 6 months basically. But I think Mesa, brings stability to the club. And with Dorados, with Bustos, who was in Chivas, this is his second season with Dorados, so it's a good process there from Ascenso to Liga MX, and they got a good bunch of players from Chivas: Fernando Arce, Nestor Vidrio, Luis Michel, and I think that adds a little bit of more solidness to a team that's we're in the early stages of the relegation battle, but it's good for these teams to start right away with on the correct path.
In terms of relegation, Chivas losing 2, Morelia winning 2. That's you can't ask for anything better.
It's still got a long time.
Just 32. Just
32. That's more birthdays than I've ever had.
32 games left.
32. That's massive. More days in a month. Let's see. What else? What else can I say? What other examples can I?
If Chivas will be fine. I said it last season, and they'll be okay and interesting to see who else.
Why must you mess with my hopes and dreams? Let me hope and dream with a Chivas relegation.
It's just a loss without Fabian, without Brizuela, with Alanis being injured in the third second of the game. Actually, 10 minutes, but it felt like the third second, didn't it?
Let's start talking about Chivas.
Now, how sad is it that you're crying out and missing Marco Fabian?
Oh, your least favorite player in the world. Your least favorite player in the world.
Marco Fabian had a great season last season. Not a better season than any other season.
He's doing better.
Yes.
The thing is,
yes, he had such a great season. We were sending him to Europe, right?
No, not we. People.
Yes, we.
You gotta keep saying that.
I will admit my mistake.
Yeah.
I admit too. I thought he was good enough, and he let me down. But he can still be a difference maker with Chivas.
I didn't see him get a chance.
Making a difference in Chivas, making a difference in Europe. There's a huge difference, and he is still the difference maker in Chivas.
Let's talk about Chivas. Let's talk about the Cruz Azul game for some of you guys who are listening.
Let's not.
We don't have the one time that we can have Jason Marquitz, Mr. Cruz Azul player, here to talk about it. He decided not to come on, had other prior commitments. But Cruz Azul obviously winning 1-0 yesterday in a game where everyone thought it was going to be a 0-0. Actually, Cesar, to credit you did say it was going to be a low-scoring game. It was low-scoring, 1-0. A game where we saw Osvaldo Alanis. Did we get confirmed where it was a tackle or was it something muscle or?
From what I read, he complained about a muscle injury. I don't think it was a tackle, but I don't know the extent of his injury problem. I don't know if any of you guys know the extent of his injury problems, but I haven't seen anything yet about how serious the injury is.
Interesting to see how it is, but obviously with all of the injuries that's happening, I did mention the pressure that now Chepo's going to, I think, start having, and that you're already starting to see between the Chivas suits, between the owners, between what is getting, why aren't they getting the results? And we obviously know it because of the injuries. But Cesar, again, Chivas fans, ask the same question: Should we be freaking out? I mean, if we're looking at it, and should you guys? Because I'm not. But at the same time, what can we see looking forward to? I guess Chivas.
I mean, the thing is just like I said, there's a lot of injuries right now that's affecting the team. So it's gonna be rough for another couple weeks. Doesn't look like Fabian's gonna be returning for another couple weeks, but Israel is still up there. Who knows what happens? Alanis back in defense. I mean, like I said, Alanis is interesting. We got Basulto, who's he's just 23 years old. Him and Salcedo, they're still a little young. So I think we're gonna continue to have problems for a few weeks. But that being said, everybody brings up the relegation race, and I think people like to bring it up because Chivas are in last, and that's something we do have to recognize. Is right down the relegation table, Chivas are definitely in last place. But there's still so much time.
I don't know why you're saying America's in last place right now in the league.
First place in the percentage table.
Okay.
Did they give a title for that? I don't know if they gave a trophy for that or not. I'm still not sure if they give it.
Most first place per year in the relegation table goes to.
But it's just, I mean, it just gets a lot of attention because of who Chivas are, and because they're in last. I think Chivas fans will have to truly start worrying if Chivas are in this spot at the start of the next season. Right now, there's still a lot of time to make changes. That being said, it still doesn't look good in the attack, does it? Like, it's just it looks pretty awful. And as much as we want to hype up the Pereira, like Salcedo, defensive, duo that we got back there, it doesn't look very promising when you have a 35-year-old Bravo up there leading the attack.
To recap, Chivas is weak in the defense and weak in the attack.
A week in the defense for another few weeks. The Pereira's going to be coming back. He's got that knee surgery, but he's going to be coming back soon. Like I said, and we really have to start.
Because we have to start strong in the defense and strong in the front.
Back to Wiso's original question of what can we expect from Chivas in the next few weeks. I say more of the same, please.
And unfortunately, it's probably going to happen. It's probably not going to look good for another couple weeks. I can't.
Last season, I think it was key to have Aldo de Nigris coming out of the bench, because I mean it was that forward, and now I don't see that forward in Chivas. Like even Cubo left already as well, and I think that's the problem with Chivas, the forward, the striker position to be exact, because there's not that much variables there. In America, you got Benedetto, you got Darwin, you got Peralta. You got a bunch of players. Well, no, Michel Vasquez was benched in Veracruz, I think. So I mean, it's not
how many goals has he had?
It's not looking good for Chivas.
Like one goal in the last 5,000 games or something like that. I don't know. It's just depressing to look up stats on that guy.
Well, it's interesting to see that those two teams, are struggling so bad. And one is, I think, coaching. The other was injuries and players. But there's no excuse. I mean, the league has started, and you have other teams and what's happening. But let's go with the results of this weekend on the Friday games. Querétaro and Pachuca, 2-1. Pachuca and Querétaro, and Dorados and Tijuana. You've just really quickly, Tijuana, on what's happening with Tijuana, especially Dorados now having 4 points in the 2 games coming in as the noobs of the league. Johnny, you're at the club daily. What's going on?
Growing pains. This is a new manager, Rubén Omar Romano. Just came in this offseason, 10 new signings this offseason. So it's he's still working things out. I expect for them to get better. It's better for them to lose the first few games this season than lose the last few games like last season and miss out on the playoffs. So
last few, it's like last 7 or something like that.
I said what I said.
Juan Arango.
I said what I said.
Bam.
So if there was a time in the season to get a losing streak out of the way, this would be it. So America, even Chivas, Cholos, they got their timing right for getting a losing streak out of the way.
I thought America just likes to be all the way up, Hanley gets 27 points and doesn't do anything. That's the way to go, Johnny. I thought, just.
Yeah, well, we got the wrong manager. We got the wrong manager for that.
They did that with Turco, right? Yeah, there you go. Going back with Turco. What else happened Saturday?
Turco's the ideal manager for everything.
Atlas America. Obviously, we talked about the game. Veracruz and León. León being a top of the league. We talked about it a little bit at the beginning. Not being
Scored
able to,
3 goals.
There it is.
They're down. León was down 1-0, and then they got the red with Pagnoni deciding that he wasn't playing soccer anymore. He was playing volleyball, and he just like.
No, he had to do that. I mean, which is a question of I mean, he had to do it. And Mauro Boselli did miss that penalty kick, but then they came back and scored 4 goals. I mean, it was a right call, I guess, at the time, but they weren't able to see that. But León seen that. Yeah, as a León fan, I mean, not getting excited. I still haven't seen, when we play 11 players, a León team that's taking advantage of the field and taking advantage of spaces, especially having those 3, Gallito, Gullit Peña, which I can say is looking a lot better, at least, than what we saw last season. And then now also Chapito Montes in the mix. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
But it's important to have Boselli there.
Yeah,
and
of course.
I mean, if you take Boselli out of that lineup, I think it's
he
over.
Played 3 games last season? 3 games?
Yeah,
one goal
around there. But he scored 3 goals last season, and now he already has 4 in 2 games. So, I mean, that kind of tells you a little bit about the influence
by missing a PK, too. So, I mean, Mauro Boselli was... When León lost Mauro Boselli, it was like he really is that, I think, in the offense and what he brings. But interesting to see Sabah. It's Sabah.
Burbano coming back. He was over there in Tigres, and now he's back in León. Back. You know, so I mean that's a good sign.
But we'll see what happens. Go ahead.
I put up something on Burbano. I think he was I'm a little obsessed. Not on the same level as Bielsa, but I was checking up all the stats. I don't think Burbano. He didn't have a single missed time pass during that match. He did not miss time a single pass during that game. 100% accuracy with passing. Kind of crazy.
Well, there you go. Taking Gallito Vasquez is great passing.
Well, Gallito has probably had like 3 times more passes than he did, though.
There was just that one of the goals. If you saw just Gallito's pass, I mean, you see those filtros. Other scores. What's happening with Tigres? You know, because of the Libertadores, Tigres losing once again. And Morelia.
That's one thing that I will never get about this league. You can postpone a match so you can have a goddamn friendly in Monterrey, but you can't postpone a match so one of your clubs can play a Copa Libertadores final.
There you go.
Yeah.
Write it up. Tell them. Tell Liga MX. Morelia beating 1-0. Chiapas 2-1. Santos Laguna not having the greatest of starts. Yeah. That's 2 games.
Santos were going to struggle, though. They got Giannini was out. Marchesín was out. You know, they had the red and the 3 reds, as you know, Wiesel, because you were playing against them in that first match. So I think they're expected to struggle a little bit. So I'm not too surprised by that. And traditionally, I think even though they struggle.
Now here's the thing on Santos. They were supposed to struggle last season, which they kind of did, but they still end up winning the championship. They're supposed to struggle this season, which they kind of are. But so I think Santos is playing its course. They don't have a spectacular squad. The squad they have is meant to be 0-2 right now.
Yeah. And also, I think Chiapas tends to do well at home too. I think last season they kind of stuttered a little bit with some of those home losses. They tend to do pretty well at home.
It's Chiapas, guys.
They're never last. They're middle. They're middle, man. They're usually like 8th, 9th, 10th.
They're good at home.
With the Santos bench, you can beat Chiapas.
No, I think they're good at home. Chiapas, they had a good winning streak going on there. No, without losing a streak over there in Chiapas a couple of months ago, basically, with Sergio Bueno.
Yeah. Sorry if there's any Chiapas on the... I don't think so, though. I've never met a single Chiapas fan. And obviously,
environmentalist.
The Sunday games. Toluca, Pumas, Picolín having a great game after the túnel after that goal. But it looked like Pumas got away with it. I felt like they were the better team, but not taking advantage. And Toluca, on what they're doing at home, it's always really hard to win in the Bombonera. And then obviously the last game, Guadalajara Cruz Azul. And then we did have another game with Monterrey. Why not mention it, or what's happening in Monterrey with their brand new stadium? I mean, looking at it, if I knew it was going to be that great, I might have taken a flight to go down there and be part of
Now,
that.
one of the theories of why the league was so accessible with Monterrey is what's the name of their new stadium?
The same as the league.
Estadio BBVA Bancomer. Who's the main sponsor of the league? Liga MX. So that's one theory of why Monterrey got help to postpone a match for a friendly, while Tigres playing
It's
a
happened before, though.
Yeah, it happens every year. The Libertadores clubs get no help, but now all of a sudden we get postponed games for a spectacle.
It was a nice spectacle, though.
It did look pretty cool from what I saw. I missed the game, but it looked pretty cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Hola.
I mean, it was pretty awesome, John. It wasn't just a spectacle. There was somebody's birthday, and they're renting out.
Still, okay, but next week, what would that match leave us next week? I can tell you a Copa Libertadores title for Tigres will leave a lot of.
But the Tigres isn't complaining. Like the Tigres, they're not resting their players. They're going over there. These two teams, and it's not like they're, oh my gosh. I mean, they're not playing the players, and it's just Pericueta starting. So I mean,
yeah. It says a lot when Pericueta is starting, man.
Yeah, I mean,
real quick on Toluca with they got this the Peruvian Christian Cueva, who was I think he was top 5 player in Copa America. So I mean, it's a good signing. He made his debut on Sunday as well.
The Pachuca player that went to Europe.
The Pachuca player that went.
Yeah, I saw he played really well. Gosh.
Jürgen Damm?
No. I forgot his name. That I thought looked really well. He was in Europe.
Oh yeah, with West Ham.
Yeah.
Striker.
Oh, Eder Valencia?
Yeah, the Ecuadorian striker.
Eder Valencia.
Yeah, that one.
No, not that one.
No.
I'll get it.
He played this weekend.
Yes, he played this weekend. You know what I'm talking about. Forget it.
Pachuca player who went to Europe. Wait. I'm confused. So it's not a player who's currently in Europe, but he's currently with Pachuca. I thought there was someone in Europe.
No. He played in Europe. Now he's back. No, not back, but.
Jürgen Damm.
No.
Bota? Is it Bota?
Bota.
Yeah, Ruben Bota.
Yes. Sorry, Ruben Bota. I could not. It was Ruben Bota. I thought he. Looking at these type of players that are coming, that are going to do well, that were in competitions and coming into Mexico, especially this year. That's just kind of what I noticed. Another type of player, another type of Gignac. That type of player. Not that type of player.
Not that I'm a glass half empty kind of guy, but Pachuca has already wasted a huge talent in Di Alessandro. They had Di Alessandro last season, the season before, and they just let him go.
They still have a lot of talent in that team right now. I mean, you got like Pizarro and Lozano bombing down the wings with Nahuel Pan right there in the middle, in the middle of the attack. I think they can still.
Any Liga MX team would kill to have a player like Di Alessandro.
All I'm saying is I think Pachuca will still do well. I think they're already. Yeah.
What I'm getting at is they're very good at wasting talent.
America Pachuca coming up, right?
Yeah. Revenge for the quarterfinals.
Yeah. Quick thing on Bota, I think he once self-described himself as a very similar to Angel Di Maria. So,
okay.
And then he went to Italy, and that didn't work out. So he's over here now.
For next week, on the games that are coming up for next week, there's a day. Is that I'm sorry. They're playing. Okay, here we go. Chiapas, Veracruz, Tijuana, Santos Laguna on the first. And then what games do you guys see that kind of jump out there? Cruz Azul, León on the Saturday. Guadalajara, Tigres. See how they're coming back after the Libertadores. América, Pachuca. Monterrey, Atlas, Querétaro, Dorados.
Monterrey, Atlas could be a lot of fun.
Turco versus Matosas.
Yeah, I think that could be a fun game. Dorados versus Querétaro could be a blowout right there, and it could be a very one-sided match. That one, but then again, Dorados have been it's almost like the movie The Replacements, like all those There's like random players being like drawn over there have done a decent job so far. So.
And then Morelia Toluca
That's another good one.
and Pumas Puebla.
Oh wait, we have three Sunday games. Interesting.
Here's a crazy prediction. You just mentioned the Toluca game. I have no idea who's the first manager to be fired this season will be, but I believe before we start the Clausura, Jose Saturnino Cardoso will be fired from Toluca.
Also.
Yes.
Oh man.
I won't say he's going to be the first, but before next season starts, he'll be fired.
Historically significant to the team as well. Wow.
But he's done absolutely nothing while being at Toluca manager.
He's beat Pumas.
He's made a couple semifinals, but that's about it. And I don't see him even making past the semifinals this season.
Johnny, when does Tijuana Veracruz play? Do they play on Sunday?
No, Tuesday.
Tuesday, right? Yeah, that's what I'm looking at the calendar.
A week from tomorrow.
There's doble jornada then.
Yes. So we're going to play this week.
7th, 8th, and 9th, and 10th, right?
Yeah. We're going to play this weekend and then Tuesday, Wednesday of next week.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at the schedule and how it is. So, yeah, well, that's it. I mean, we talked about what kind of games are interesting, especially with the managers. But other than that, it looks like, I mean, everyone's still going to look at the America and the Chivas game to see where they're at, and I think America's got it hard, and so does Chivas, on what's happening, and then the fourth week. I'm looking at the schedule, and I think the fourth week is a week where we still start seeing some managers being canned, or fifth week.
Yeah, this will be interesting match when Chivas and Morelia take each other on. That'll be, I know everybody's
fourth week, right?
Yeah, everybody's talking about really. Oh, go for it, Johnny.
Having let's say America were to lose to Pachuca, 0-3 start, I wouldn't put it past the America directivos to fire Ambriz on the third week.
I would go Peláez first, no? I mean, Peláez is the one that...
I'd go both.
I think, yeah, if Ambriz goes, Peláez is gone.
Yeah, I'd go for a 2-for-1. I'd do it right now. I'd give both of them the boot right now.
Johnny's not liking America's start, man.
Nope.
Johnny hasn't liked America since his beloved Turco left and Matotes brought the Conca Champions Cup.
I miss the optimistic Johnny America fan.
But the thing is,
pessimism.
when I was optimistic, things were going good.
They were.
How did it go?
Does this mean that things will continue to be bad with America, Johnny?
One day I will get a vision of something good that will happen, and then it will happen. But until then,
Johnny, you got Club World Cup. Don't worry, good things will happen.
Ambriz does not manage that. Ambriz does not manage Club World Cup.
All right, guys. Well, let's. Any last thoughts on Liga MX before we go into our Libertadores talk?
I have some quick last. I thought it would be last thoughts. I didn't realize we were talking about Libertadores. I was going to talk about the fantasy league really quickly, but let's do Libertadores first.
Go ahead.
All I was going to say was shout out to number one out of we have 125 members in our fantasy league right now.
I was a little too late to join last week because I missed it. I was traveling.
125.
You can still join.
Members.
But
why don't we have that amount of viewers right now?
If I join, am I completely at the bottom because I already missed 2 weeks?
Yeah, you're completely at the bottom, but it's okay.
No,
you just get a bunch of like. But
at
number one is
I don't want to beat the
Rex
loser.
Rex 4536. He has 116 points. Number two is Jay Pichardo. Jay Pichardo 7 has 114, and then Johnny's number 18. Nice. And then Jason and I are tied for 49th, and then I was going to try to look for Tom, but he's lost.
The Mexican Soccer Show guys aren't even ranked in the top 10. That's pathetic.
No, we're struggling. We're struggling.
Hey, I'm top 20.
I got you know what's the awful thing? I actually put when I was getting my players ready. I got Giannini and Marchesín. I was like, oh yeah, let's do this, guys. Let's do this. And then they got the red.
On a league of 125 people, I think top 20 is still somewhat impressive.
That's what Americanista would say.
we gotta get a prize though. We gotta think of a prize for the.
I think guys, throws out ideas of what you think the prize should be for the Mexican soccer show. Maybe a guest appearance on the Mexican soccer show.
Yeah, guest appearance. Why not guest appearance? Yeah.
How about after? You know what? How about after 5 weeks, the winner can come on and just kind of give us his how he's winning it, and then maybe towards the end we'll have some.
Just change it up. Having every 3 weeks have the league leader come on. Every 2 or 3 weeks, have the league leader come on.
Sure. Yeah. I guess we'll discuss it. Anybody out there who's listening, give us some ideas. I don't. Maybe let's see what they want. I mean, this is just our ideas. Let's see what maybe after 5 weeks, after they come on. Yeah, we'll see.
How about the top 5 takeover one show?
Wait, what is this? A democracy?
He's like they come on. How about the top 4 Mexican soccer fantasy come on the show and host it and do the whole thing for an hour? All right, let's go and talk about the Libertadores. Probably the biggest, I would say, the biggest match in Tigres history, the biggest match in a Mexican club. I know Johnny already mentioned being in the final, but I think we can say that with this team, with the Tigres team, even though they didn't take advantage of last week, Tigres does have a shot with the players that they have. As talent-wise, I know that the Chivas Libertadores final, I mean, but I would have to say that this Tigres is more talented and can probably take the cup at the start of last week's. But I want to hear you guys. Tom was talking about on Twitter, not taking advantage of the home was huge. And also with what River played. It's because I was thinking of the B on River ever since I saw that game. I keep thinking of the B, and I know that a bunch of River fans are gonna hate me for that. But
River de la B.
River. So and not taking advantage of the home, obviously the home field and how huge it is, especially in the second leg. And not saying it's gonna be. Obviously, I think La Localía is huge down in Argentina, but let's talk a little bit about what we want to see. The players are back. It looked like Gignac had, if you guys saw that picture of his toe bleeding from what it is. So in yesterday with the Tigres fans all over the airport, all of Mexico's big Todos Somos Tigres or Todos México es Tigre. I mean, everybody's looking at this match. And let's just kind of go around and see what your thoughts are. First, if they can do it, and also what are the keys for them to win. And I'll start with Mr. Naive. Wednesday's match. What do you think Tigres has to do differently from last game? I know River was a little too defensive, but I mean they played their game and they did it right.
Yeah, I think we'll see if Aquino will be able to play in that game over there in Argentina. I think Aquino was really crucial in the international matches in the semis. River tackled a lot. They fouled a lot actually, about 23 fouls or something. That kind of stopped the progression of Tigres' game, especially with Sobis and Gignac. And I think they do have the capacity. I think Dam was crossing the ball well. He had that terrible miss, but other than that, I think that Dam is advanced, progressing with his football, which is a good sign. And I think the attitude is there. I think the team is really, really close. Keep in mind, I think this Tigres team is, in my opinion, the most prepared Libertadores team that Mexico has ever had. Arevalo Rios, this guy fights all the time from Uruguay. Fights in a good sense. Fighting for the ball and so forth. Not other types of fights that we know. Guido Pizarro is another one. The Piojo type of fight.
Not the Piojo
not the Piojo type. Guido Pizarro, Rafael Sobis won Libertadores with Internacional, and I think Gignac, has come into this whole deal with Tigres and has made an impact immediately. I think that's good to see from a player that really didn't even care about the adaptation. He was like, whatever, I just want to try to win the Libertadores, which is one of the first things that came out of his mouth when he landed in Mexico City. So in general, I do see a good opportunity for Tigres to get a 1-2-1 win over there in the Monumental.
From the chat says, but if River survived El Volcán, it was because they're all on their own field. In Argentina, Tuca's going to own Intacteds. Let's see if the players can deliver. Coming from Jalex23 in the chat. Johnny, I'll go to you. Seeing Tigres, obviously, what are the keys? What same question to you? What do they have to do differently?
Sin albur, metérsela. The ball, the ball. Just a tip.
Cesar Hernandez, your keys to the game for tomorrow. For Wednesday.
I think Johnny kind of said it perfectly, didn't he? No, I think Tigres had their.
Tom Marshall's not in the show, by the way.
I think Tigres had their chances, did they? I think they didn't finish his opportunities. I think Dam had a clear opportunity. Just dealing with the physical play of River that we saw in the last match, and I think it's a little unfortunate. But you also have to keep in mind remember it's a final, so there's no away goals. So it's 0-0 going into this. So that 1-1, well, that won't give them the title. They still need to find a win, and if not, that'll be going into extra time. So just finishing, which something they need to work on, dealing with the physical play, and it's going to be hard because I think River, they only in the 6 games, I believe it was the 6 home games that they had the Libertadores, they've only allowed 3 goals. So it's going to be tough. One of those goals was from Tigres in the group stage, but it's still a tough venue where they're going to be at over there.
Let's also keep in mind that 45 minutes were not played, for River. 45 minutes against Boca was canceled out, and they won by default. But River could not defeat Tigres in group stage. They couldn't. It's three tries already, 3 games that River has not been able to beat Tigres. I think Tigres goes down there, and I think they get the job done 1-0. 1-0, grab the trophy and run for your life. There's going to be a lot of mad fans.
Hopefully there's no anything with the rest. Are we seeing in there, or no spitting like we've seen in other finals before? But
I'm down for 1-0 dodgy penalty in favor of Tigres.
Oh yeah, no. Then we ask him to miss it. Right, then everybody says miss it because it's the right thing to do.
This is starting another new podcast right here.
It's the right thing to do. All the commentators, like Tomas Boy, that way everyone can look at Mexico and.
I did. Someone told me I didn't. The website El de Reforma, the satire website. Reforma, they put out an article with the headline that Americanistas saw nothing wrong in the way Mexico advanced through.
Dude, they have hilarious. If you don't have a chance to go to the El de Forma, they have the funniest articles. And the funny thing is that then you see people quote it. Like we translate it back, and it's hilarious. But and what we're seeing out there, predictions. Let's go with predictions for Wednesday game. Mr. Knight.
I like. Oh, go ahead, Nate.
Oh, I'll go with 2-1 Tigres. I'd say I'd see Gignac scoring another goal over there in Monumental. He probably scored 2 goals actually. Gignac and Monumental.
Mr. Johnny.
I'm going with a 0-1.
Is that a loss?
No, Tigres are the away team. This is soccer, guys.
I know, but we're focusing on Tigres, so I thought.
Stay 1-0 though.
No, 1-0 is in favor of the home team. Who's the home team?
No, but when you're saying your team.
That's not my team. My team's America.
Oh, with the Cholos jersey, the Cholos that you have on, I like it.
He's probably got a half. Maybe there's a half and a half jersey somewhere. I'm going with Naib's prediction, shooting for 2-1. Gignac getting a redemption for that bloody toe, the bruised toe that he got recently in that last match.
Nice. I'm gonna go for 1-0. I think it's gonna be really hard. I think 1-0 late, and let's get out of there. Just like Johnny kind of said, let's get out of there before the riot. Let's get out of there. All I'm saying is just bring all the Boca fans, and that way it can, they'll just keep fighting, and Tigres can just kind of go out there But if there's a game that I would like to attend is a final Libertadores. And good luck. If you're a Tigres fan, I'm with the whole thing. Everyone's watching it.
No,
And, I think. Go ahead, Johnny.
Here's a bit of a debate. I still remember the Cruz Azul Copa Libertadores final. Which squad is stronger, the Cruz Azul
Tigres.
Libertadores or the Tigres? Because I remember a really strong Cruz Azul squad. They had Cardoso, Palencia, Conejo Perez at his prime.
Conejo was only like 38 at the time or something.
No.
Conejo had hair, yo. Conejo had hair.
It's hard to argue against the current Tigres side when you look at the options. I know there's some key players that are doubtful, like Uche and Aquino, but I don't know. I think my immediate reaction is that the Tigres side is arguably one of the most talented Liga MX sides of all time.
But then again, this is probably. I'm just showcasing my age here. How old are you guys? Do you guys even remember that Cruz Azul squad?
Nope, not at all.
2000.
I don't know. Almaguer was one of the defenders, wasn't he?
Yeah, Sergio Almaguer was a defender. Norberto Ángeles, Paco Palencia.
The Cristian Castro song was really popular back then. We put it everywhere.
There was a player in Boca, a lot of players in that Boca squad that either played for Cruz Azul or are now with Cruz Azul, like Cristian El Chaco Jimenez.
Yeah, Chaco Jimenez.
Was with Boca.
Walter Gaitán. Hugo Barra.
The original Chelo Delgado.
Chelo Delgado, yeah.
Not Chelito, but the original Chelo.
Marcelo Díaz, no? Oh, Marcelo Delgado.
Yeah.
Johnny, you're not 50.
Well, I was at that game. I went to the stadium. I went to the Azteca for the Cruz Azul Boca game.
And we were cheering for Cruz Azul, Johnny.
Yes, I was.
Oh, someone tell me that right now.
And now we can end the game and the podcast with Johnny cheering for Cruz Azul.
I was young. I was impressionable, and an uncle bought me a Cruz Azul jersey.
Oh, nice.
Oh, look at that story.
Take a picture of that. Guys, well, we're running out of time.
I was probably at an ASO game at 6 or 7 years old or something. I don't know.
2001? I don't want to know what I was doing. Guys, there's been another episode of Mexican Soccer Show. I'd like to thank everyone on the chat. Lots of you guys, asking us your questions. We'll do the calling in some other time and make sure that you guys have some questions ready to go. But it's going to be interesting. Week 4, Libertadores, and we're seeing what Liga MX, and who knows, maybe we'll get some kind of coaching news here and there. But thanks to all of you guys. Edwin, Salvador Mares joining in for Liberto, Alex23 that are on there, Laura saying hello, and everybody that's on the chat, all of you guys that are watching. You can catch us on the iTunes also when probably tomorrow and in a couple of days we get that also on there. But thank you.
Also, I'll be posting the Mexico Top 25 tomorrow morning.
That's right. Tomorrow
Mexico
morning.
Top 25.
Top 25 at foodmixsource.com, and you'll make sure you get that in the Twitter. Interesting to see if anything's changed with 1 month.
Oh, yeah, Peralta is going to be out of the list. Tecatito, number 1. That's
Question. Why 25? Aren't call-ups 23?
25 seems like a little bit more of like a good number. 25, yeah.
Johnny's
23.
Johnny, I like
we have
to for coming on the show.
We have to choose 3 goalkeepers each. We have to choose 5. I don't know.
Johnny, thank you so much for coming on. I know you have a busy schedule with Cholos. Pleasure, and good thing that you have your computer ready to go, but we'll be hearing from you. Mr. Naim Moran in New York, thank you, obviously, for jumping on yesterday. I had fun. We'll figure out what match we're going to do this weekend, and we'll ask you guys what match you guys want to do. And then Cesar, ESPN FC, guys. Make sure you follow all of us. And I am wearing the Gold Cup hats for once, just making sure repping the. It's a nice hat, actually. I like how it fits. I don't like that it says Gold Cup that much, but Copa Libertadores, don't miss it. We'll see you guys all later from the Mexican Soccer Show. See you next week.